Okay, sir, we are recording this session.
Okay, thank you. So, hi everyone. This is Aman Goel. I am the founder and CEO of a startup called Cogno AI. Uh, as a background, I did my BTech in computer science and engineering from IIT Bombay, 2013 to 2017, and I started Cogno right after college itself. In fact, yesterday we completed our 6 years of existence, and about 1.5 years back in November 2021, we were acquired by a larger company called Exotel. So I I am also sort of an angel investor. I do invest in some early stage startups, although not very active. So by the way, I can see a lot of people on the call, but guys, you should turn on your video to make the session more interactive. This is not a college lecture. I don't know how remote remote college has been for you, but this is definitely not a lecture. So it would be great if you guys can keep your videos on so that we get to know each other, we interact with each other. Okay, so I'll proceed. So I'll today I'll talk about my entrepreneurship journey, right? How I started my company, how did I find the startup idea, right? The challenges I went through, or the benefits I had as a young entrepreneur, and basically I'll describe my whole journey from start till let's say the acquisition of the startup, right? So, like many of you over here, I was also very interested in settling in Silicon Valley, getting a job, getting an internship, and then a job, and then staying in the US for a longer period of time. So, after the end of my third year of college, which is 2016, right? Summers of 2016, I was interning at a startup called Rubrik. So, I was in the technology team working on building the backend systems, right? Some of the components which I was working on was NoSQL databases, Cassandra, Cockroach DB, and so on and so forth. It was kind of an ideal internship because I was getting paid a decent stipend of $8,000 a month, which was a lot of money even at that time. Today, I don't know how much the stipends and salaries have gone up, of course, after almost 6, 7 years now. But at that time, it was one of the highest paid internship across all IITs. And the internship experience was fantastic. I was working with some of the smartest people out there. But one thing which sort of I did not enjoy was the fact that I was just an intern in a larger company. So there were more than 500 employees, and I was just an intern. My presence or absence hardly mattered to the company in terms of impact, right? So I think someone is asking how to get internship. So look, this is an entrepreneurship session, so I don't know if I can talk about getting an internship over here or not, but let's discuss that separately. Anyway, so the point was that it was a great internship, but I did not feel the fact that I was creating a big impact which I could create. Which I mean, I did not feel that I was working up to my potential. So when I came back to India after the internship, my seventh and eighth semester were pending. So I think at that time I decided that look, I should explore something around entrepreneurship and startups as well because there is so much happening in Silicon Valley, so much of entrepreneurship activity. If something I could do in India, that would be great. So the benefit I had in my fourth year was that I had a lot of time. So Rubrik extended me a pre-placement offer, so I kind of did not have to sit for placements. I didn't want to settle in the US, so I did not have to go for GRE or uh, whatever master's preparation. And undergrad project is also optional in IIT Bombay Computer Science. The fourth year project is optional. It's up to you whether you want to take the project or you want to go for courses and complete the required number of credits. So essentially, like seventh and eighth semester were pretty much free for me. That's when a friend told me about the Department of Entrepreneurship, right? This is very unique to IIT Bombay. At least it was unique at that time. Uh, in all the colleges, you will see there is a startup incubator. There is generally an e-cell which organizes events like e-summit, right? Which is something I'm sure e-cell would be doing. So, but IIT Bombay has gone a step ahead. We have actual courses in entrepreneurship which are taught by industry veterans, right? So some of the courses which I've shown over here in my slide, you can see Introduction to Entrepreneurship, Technology Venture Creation, Marketing for Entrepreneurs, Intellectual Property for Entrepreneurs. Now, the difference between these courses and a typical engineering course is that In a typical engineering course, you will find pen paper based exams, quizzes, assignments, which I'm sure some of you might be using Chat GPT to write code or write your assignments. Some of these assignments require a lot of cramming, which many of us hate. But here, the professors were not academicians. They were not like the people from the academia. They were people from the business domain. They were entrepreneurs themselves, right? Professor Raj Jaswa, he had two companies listed in the US, which he co-founded, 1975 batch IIT Bombay. Professor Bharat Desai, he sold his company Sintel to a larger player for $3.5 billion. B for Bombay wala billion, right? So that kind of people are taking courses. So those are very practical. And these people, as I said, they are entrepreneurs, so they don't care about exams, quizzes, assignments. Their thought is very simple. Look, you are here to learn entrepreneurship, and the only way to do that is to find a customer segment, find the problem statement, and build a product, build a company around it. And that was our objective as well, right? We were also told to go and build a company, go and build a business. So I teamed up with a friend of mine. He was also from IIT Bombay, called Soham, and we initially came up with a startup idea which was B2C. So the idea was that in spite of all these smartphones we have and the internet which is available, our parents still reach out to us for booking a cab, for ordering food from Swiggy or ordering something from Amazon, right? I'm sure some of you may still have experienced the problem. So my parents were in my hometown in Kanpur. I was in Mumbai doing my BTech from IIT Bombay. And my parents used to reach out to me for all of these things, flight booking, right? Or maybe a train booking. So the problem statement was that how can we enable parents to sort of not depend on their children for all of this thing? We thought of this idea that we'll build a voice-based solution where they can just call up a number, let's say whatever, 9 555 555, something like that, and they can speak their query in their local language. A voice bot in the other side will on the other side will understand the query and basis that help them book a flight or book a cab, right? Like a concierge service which is powered by AI, which is virtual in nature. So we presented this idea to our professors. So as I said, we had to actually meet prospects, we had to meet customers. So this is one slide where me and my co-founder, we are meeting some of the prospects. We had to take photographs as an evidence. So, they suggested that, look, your idea is a consumer-facing idea, and you will bleed a lot of money in acquiring customers in marketing this product. Why don't you go B2B, which means these companies like Swiggy, Make My Trip, they already have customers. Why, if you can enable them to sell their products, that will be far better. So take your technology, give it to Make My Trip or HDFC Bank or Swiggy, and tell them that, look, using this technology, people can transact with you in a far easier manner because it is simple and voice enabled. So that's why you can see this. We met HDFC Bank office. Now, some of you may be asking, Kia Raman, how did you, being a 21-year-old college student, end up in HDFC Bank office? And it's a valid question. Why will HDFC Bank executive even give us 10 minutes of their time? So look, one of the most powerful tool which we students have is that we can just say to anyone that, look, we are students and researchers, here is our ID card, and we are trying to understand the problem statement and learn and do some research on it. And people will be very happy to guide. Because see, once you are out of college, you are seen as an entrepreneur, you are seen as a businessman, you are seen as an intruder. But when you are in college, you can take your ID card, just barge in anywhere by saying that, look, I'm a researcher and a student. So that's what we did. HDFC Bank had launched a robot in one of their branches, a physical robot in one of their branches in Mumbai. We just went to that branch and asked the branch manager that who is the team who has led this project. She connected us with a couple of people from the corporate banking side. I mean, the main branch, main head office. Uh, and she gave us the contact number of those people. We called them and we said, ki, hi, we are students and we wanted to do research around what are you doing in AI technology, and you built this robot. We wanted to just learn from you what other areas are you exploring. And they invited us within in the same day, within 2 hours we got a meeting to their office, and it was a good I think 45-minute long meeting they gave us, where they explained us everything what they were doing in technology, AI, blockchain, and blah blah blah. So, and that was because they did not feel threatened with us, right? They didn't feel that Aman and Soham are entrepreneurs or whatever, business people. They saw us as students who were trying to help them. So that way, that is one of the most powerful thing you can also leverage. So this is an example of how we acquired a few initial customers. This is a short video. I don't know. Can you see my screen? Uh, which part of my screen is visible? Can you see the YouTube page?
No, sir, it's actually blank.
Oh yeah, hold on. I think the presentation is shared. So let me just share uh, YouTube page. Okay. Is this visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah. Can you hear the audio also?
Yes, yes, sir, it's audible.
So this video we made. What is my account balance? Account balance is 24,000 rupees. What are the best loan options available for laptop purchase? Yeah, provide you a personal loan of 30,000 rupees at 8%. So I hope you guys saw the video to get an idea that so this is a video we made and as a part of one of the course where we were supposed to sell before we build anything. So this video is completely hard coded. I recorded it in the professor's cabin itself. As you can see, right, I'm speaking something in mobile and through voice it is explaining me, it is helping me with the solution for that within Axis Bank app. So that was the idea, right? And this, as I said, we were programmers, we were computer science students, both me and Soham. So we created a simple app, which is not too complex, but at the same time, for the customer, it is quite explanatory. Looking at the app, they can understand how the user experience will look like. So they don't have to understand the AI, the technology behind it, because there was actually no AI implemented at this stage. But they understand the user journey, how user will experience the app. So now we acquired the few. So one of our advisors, they connected us with State Bank of India. So we met Axis Bank. Axis Bank, this when we showed this video, they were quite excited. But when we showed the last slide, which said key next steps, and it was written graduate from college, so they kicked us out of the meeting because they were very furious that why are college kids pitching us. So sometimes people may not appreciate the college method as well, but I'm saying ki it works most of the time. We met HDFC Bank, we met Yes Bank in a similar manner. And finally, one of the advisors connected us with State Bank of India. Now, the State Bank of India, so there is an interesting story on how we got onboarded at how we acquired State Bank of India as a customer. So we met one of their DGMs through the reference, and he liked our solution, right? We showed him this video with blue colored video for SBI, and he absolutely liked it. And he said, "Ki, why don't you guys go and incorporate a company, finally, like formally register in a company, and we will start exploring how we can work together." So at that time, it took almost a month to register a company. Now it is much faster because of Startup India initiatives by the government. But at that time, it took a month. So this is February 2017 in my eighth semester of college. So when we met him again after a month in March, he had completely forgotten us. So just imagine, like, I mean, we got excited that a DGM from SBI is interested in our product. We showed him, and then we incorporated a company, went back, and the guy has forgotten us. So now, but obviously, we were very determined. Ki, yaar, look, the person showed some interest, so there must be something good. So let's not drop him. Let's definitely chase him. So there was this guy called Sandeep who was the junior of the DGM. We became friends with him and we said, Ki, yaar, you all you do is just help us get the gate pass and entry to your office, and rest we will handle. Because in all of these corporate offices, you just can't enter like a branch. These are centralized IT offices, and they have security access proper. So Sandeep provided us gate pass daily, and we used to sit outside the DGM's cabin, and every single day we used to look at him as if he owes us money, right? I mean, the idea was to make him feel guilty to the extent that where he says, ki, fine, we'll work with you. And after 4 or 5 days, he realized that these guys are not going anywhere without getting business. And he said, ki, fine, let's do one thing. On 1st of July, it's the bank's foundation day. While your solution is very interesting on voice, we can't do much because our call center is a big channel for our customers, and we don't want a startup to experiment on our call center or a voice channel, right? So they said, why don't you launch a simple chat-based solution where the user can type like, what is the interest rate of personal loan? How do I apply? What are the charges? And launch it on our corporate website. So we obviously like the idea. We said, "Ki fine. I mean, you don't want voice, you want chat. We are happy to provide it. Whatever you want." Basically, our intent was to find a way to start working with the bank. And here was our opportunity. So he gave us 15 days to build a proof of concept, like a small demo kind of thing. And within 1 week, we showed him, and he really liked our speed. He liked our agility. That quickly, we were able to show him something. He showed it to his senior, and their seniors also liked the product. And they said, let's go ahead and launch this for our foundation day. Obviously, it was not so straightforward in the sense that there was a lot of technical evaluation around our product, around our technology. How did we build it? What was the framework? What was the stack? Was it safe and secure or not? And the hardest part was negotiating with them. So, in the negotiation, me and my co-founder were two people, 21-year-old each. And the GM who was negotiating on our side, his experience was more than 40 years. So you can imagine our combined age was lesser than his experience, and there were seven of them, one GM, which is the one general manager, and six DGM, which is deputy general managers. And they were all senior citizens. They were close to 55 plus in age, and all of them were negotiating and grilling us like anything. So it went on for about a week, the back and forth, and finally they agreed that fine, your solution seems interesting. We'll sign off on the pricing. So that was our first contract of 75 lakh rupees from State Bank of India. Now you may be wondering that how did you get such a huge contract? Look, we understood that they have a sense of they have an urgency. So already it was the month of April and May month going on, and they had to launch it by June end to be able to showcase it on their foundation day on 1st of July. And it was their chairman Arundhati Bhattacharya ma'am's last year. And so they desperately wanted to showcase something as a part of that, right? So this is me, this is Soham, this is the DGM, this is one of our advisor who helped us. So this is again, we are being felicitated by the senior management. So this is again me from third from the right. uh, the person fourth from the left was the chief information officer of SBI. He was the deputy managing director. So we got a lot of exposure. They honored us in front of 1200 employees of the bank, that look, young people are launching something for the bank. And so it was it, they were trying to send a message to their employees also, that why don't you learn from these people and you also do something around technology and something around artificial intelligence. So SBI referred us to their subsidiary companies, SBI Life Insurance, SBI Mutual Fund. So both of them started working with us, SBI Life, SBI Mutual Fund. One of my advisors also introduced me to ICICI Bank, right? He was so as I said, the advisors were all people from business domain. So one of our advisors was ex-CEO of ICICI Home Finance. So he connected me with the senior management of ICICI Bank. So this, by the way, this you may be wondering again, Kia Raman had so many good connects. So that is, yes, that is one unfair advantage we had. We had the IIT Bombay network through which we could connect with these people, which is much harder for anyone else to do. And so that becomes an unfair advantage in business. In every business you start, you definitely have to have an unfair advantage. Otherwise, anybody can enter your market and take away your business with a better pricing. So you are selling something for 100 rupees, they will come and say, I'll charge 95 rupees or 90 rupees and take away your business. So that's where any unfair advantage will help. My unfair advantage was my college network. Your unfair advantage may be something else. It could be a better technology, it could be a better access to customers, it could be a distribution mechanism, and so on and so forth. Like if you see some of these actors and actresses in Bollywood, they launch their own beauty and cosmetic brands. Now, the unfair advantage they have is they already have a distribution, they already have millions of followers on Instagram. So, if you and I start a cosmetic brand, we don't have access to customers. But if Priyanka Chopra starts a cosmetic brand, which she did, she already has access to probably tens of millions of people who are following her. So that way she has an unfair advantage on that side rather than starting something which is a software for banks. So it's very important that when you are starting something, you figure out what is your unfair advantage. Where is it that you can build something which will be much harder for others to do? So now everything seems quite good so far in my journey. Guys must be thinking that, Aman, what happened? All went well. You got so many customers. You made money. No, not really. Life did not want life did not like seeing life things to be happy. So we could not build a clear business model. The problem was that, see, I came from a small family, something like a 7-8 lakhs per year kind of family, right? That's what my father is, a small businessman in Kanpur. uh, so for me, 75 lakhs contract is like 10 times his earning. But my co-founder, he came from a very rich family. His father is a builder. So for him, 75 lakhs is peanuts, a small amount of money. So both of us were misaligned. My thought process was that four large companies, which is State Bank, SBI Life, SBI Mutual Fund, and ICICI Bank, they have started working with us on a chatbot product. So let's continue building it. Let's acquire more customers and grow this business. But Soham's thought was that, look, these are peanuts, these are small amounts of money. We should be doing something big and different. And so we were not able to align ourselves on our plan for the business. So that's why he left abruptly in about 1.5 years. So April 2017 is when we started. August 2018 is when we left. When Soham left. So I was left with one intern, one full-time employee, right? I had bought out his stake also, so I had paid money from my pocket. Bank balance went below 5 lakhs. We had spent money in hiring, we had spent money in office. Office kya matlab, we were working from a 2 BHK flat in Mumbai. So the deposit, security, Mumbai rents are crazy, security deposit and all we had to pay. So because of all of that, the bank balance went below rupees 5 lakhs. I was almost on the verge of bankruptcy because I had salaries to pay, I had rent to pay, and then I had almost no money in the company account. So I went ahead, I convinced Harshita, who is my current co-founder, to join me in the journey. So Harshita and I are friends since college days. She's from IIT Kanpur, and we used to run a small content writing business also in college. I'll talk about it sometime later about that business. But broadly, we were friends, and she was at Citibank in Pune. So same batch as me. And so basically, in the 1 year duration in which Soham and I were running Cogno, our business, she was working at Citibank and exploring startup ideas. So when Soham left, I explained to her my situation that look, there are 4 large companies who have bought from us, so there must be something good that we are doing, right? I understand it's not a big business, it's not scalable, it's not whatever aspirational, but at least something is working. That's why 4 big companies are paying us. So I convinced her to join me. She left her job and she joined me, and we started building the chatbot product for financial services. So we started productizing, we started converting into product what SBI asked us, right? So when I say financial services, bank, mutual fund, life insurance companies, general insurance companies, stock broking companies, the benefit is that when you go and sell to ICICI Bank, you can go and pitch ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund and say, look, your parent entity, which is the bank, is my customer, which means they have done their due diligence, they have done their evaluation on my product, and so my product must be competent enough. That's why bank bought from me. Why don't you also buy from me? So my sales pitch becomes very simple that look, I am a great company because your bank has bought from me. So we distributed our roles and responsibilities. So because customers knew me and Soham, but now Soham is gone, so customers only knew me. So I was forced to take the customer facing role because I could not send Harshita to the customers, and customers will be like, where is Aman, where is Soham, right? For them, it will be a big change. So even though I was a programmer, a technical person, the only option I had was to shift and move towards the business side of things, which is customer facing roles. So Harshita looked at everything on product, engineering, data security. I started looking everything on sales, customer success, project management, and so on and so forth. And once the product started shaping up, all we did was sell, 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 sell. And I was so aggressive in selling. So, I'll give you some examples. Uh, ICICI Bank office is here in Mumbai in VKC, some 10 kilometers from my home. I used to go to that office every single day. And the security guard, I mean, when you enter the office, you have to provide the serial number of your laptop for security purposes, of course. So, security guard had memorized the serial number of my laptop. I used to visit so often. Uh, at that time, UPI was a new offering. UPI had just started. This is 2015, 2017 is what I'm talking about, 17, 18. UPI was starting up. ICICI Bank was the main bank offering UPI. So they had mandated that in their canteen, only UPI payments will be allowed. So now UPI was in early stage, so sometimes UPI payment used to fail. The canteen guy used to say कि sir आप तो रोज आते हैं आप कल आके पैसे दे दीजिएगा, right? You come tomorrow and you come every day, so why don't you pay tomorrow? That's not a problem. So we were selling so aggressively. So we acquired a lot of customers. As you can see, some of the largest logos. I'm sure you guys would have interacted with these brands. Some of the largest banks: State Bank Group, Kotak Group, ICICI Group, HDFC Group, Aditya Birla Group, Bajaj Group, Axis Group, right? So some of the biggest brands we acquired as customers. And definitely we had unfair advantage in the form of we had access to customer base. So Kotak Mahindra Bank, for example, their chief digital officer, he's a friend of my advisor. ICICI Bank, their CEO is their ex-boss of their CEO is my advisor. Can you imagine the CEO of ICICI Bank and his ex-boss is my mentor? So SBI Life Insurance, I know the chief technology officer. Bajaj Life, I know the CEO, Mr. Taran Chugh. IDFC First Bank. So how we acquired IDFC First Bank? The chief technology officer of ICICI Bank, he left ICICI Bank and joined IDFC First Bank as the chief operating officer. So he already knew us. He was comfortable working with us. He called us and we started working. And now, some people from IDFC First Bank has left the bank and they have joined Piramal Housing Finance. They called me and said, why don't we start working? So that way we were able to acquire a lot of customers. Also, we went to, as I told you, right, we went to the subsidiaries of these banks and said, look, we are working with the bank, why don't you work with us? So banks are very highly regulated, and it's very difficult to become a vendor or a partner or a service provider of a bank because of strict guidelines, data security norms and all. So when you go to the mutual fund and say, look, your bank is my customer already, they get a lot of confidence that bank would have grilled properly. So in a typical sale of to a large enterprise, there are multiple people who are involved. One person will be from business side, one will be from IT side, information security, legal, compliance, finance, procurement, project management. So multiple stakeholders are involved. All of them have to agree to buy your product, and that's when the sale happens. So when you go to ICICI Prudential Life and say ki all the stakeholders of banks have given me a go ahead, given me an approval, so that really gives them a lot of confidence. Also, it saves them time to reevaluate us again, because if they will take me through again these 7 8 stakeholders, they will again take 2 3 months of time. So which they can save with me, because I bank has done it for me. So the point I'm trying to make is, trust helps you build further trust. Trust compounds. So now, I mean, we didn't look back and we sold like crazy. We acquired a lot of customers. So in these photos, as you can see, I'm getting some awards. So I absolutely hate awards, but the speciality of these two awards is that they are being given to us by our customers. The left one is from ICICI Lombard, the right one is from ICICI Bank. So I never participate in any awards, hackathons, especially the paid ones. Definitely, I don't spend any money on. I mean, we as a company don't spend any money on any kind of paid advertisement of this form. We do ads on LinkedIn, social media, and all, but we don't do paid ads in the form of getting awards and getting recognition. These are customer awards where customers liked their offering, and so they awarded us in their internal events. And so I think that reward is far more important than any paid marketing which I'm doing. So now, yeah, I'll talk about the acquisition of by Exotel. Uh, so now the thing was that when COVID happened, right, many of the businesses were in deep trouble. Some of the banks, for example, the trouble they faced was that their call centers. For simple example, ICICI Bank, let's say they have a call center, but now the call center agents are not allowed to visit the office because of lockdown. So all these companies were in immediate need to provide customer support to their customers in a digital manner, because they were stuck. They were so far offering on-call support, but suddenly the government put a lockdown. Call center agents cannot go to office, which means they had to find alternate ways to provide customer support. That's where our chat-based solution really were able to offer help, because using our chat bots, WhatsApp bots, website-based bots, people could come to these websites and WhatsApp and all and ask queries. What is my account balance? So queries for which they used to call center, some portion of that we could deflect it to our chat solution. So that way, their the impact of COVID reduced on these companies. And so for us, it was a great tailwind. A lot of companies started reaching out to us for our solution, and we were already working with some of these banks, so they did not have to do too much of due diligence. They started onboarding us very, very quickly. So now, so in 2 years we grew 10x. So from 75 lakhs in revenue, we grew to 7.25 crores in revenue in just 2 years of time frame of COVID. So that's when Exotel came to us and they said, look, you are growing very fast. You have built a great team. You have acquired some of the largest brands in India as your customers. Why don't we join hands together, right? So Exotel has built the entire voice-based solution. So let me give you an example of how you guys have experienced Exotel. So I'm sure all of you would have ordered food from Swiggy or ordered a cab from Uber. So when you get a call from your Swiggy delivery boy or a call from your Uber cab driver, 99 out of 100 such calls are powered by Exotel. So we are the telephony infrastructure of India. Most of the startups use us, and there are more than 7,000 customers across 60 plus countries, which work with Exotel. So Exotel has built the full voice stack. We had the chat stack, right? So now combining the two companies, we have built a full stack. Now we go to these banks and say that, look, we have the full stack solution. You don't have to go to one vendor for chat, one for WhatsApp, one for voice, one for SMS, one for telephony. We will be providing you everything under one basket. And the benefit is that for customer, they don't have to work with 5 vendors and 5 project managers they have to appoint. I mean, they don't have to do that. Otherwise, they have to evaluate these vendors. They have to integrate their products with each other. They have to issue purchase orders. They have to sign agreements. So all of this becomes an operational hassle. With one vendor providing, one provider like us providing everything, it becomes much easier for them, because the project management and coordination work is on us now. It makes their life easy. They don't have to put the efforts. So the Exotel raised a lot of funding in 2021, about $100 million. They were sitting on a lot of cash, and that's when they offered us acquisition to buy us out. It was started in July 2021, and it was a 4 month long process which ended in November 2021. So currently, I am continuing at Exotel, and I'm running the conversational AI business unit. So my subsidiary, which is Cogno AI as a company, is a wholly owned subsidiary of Exotel, which means we have not merged the two companies. We have not merged the team members. I am working independently as a unit within Exotel. So Exotel is about 1,000 people, including us, and we are independently 150 people. My team members are not reporting to Exotel team. They are reporting to me, and my reporting is to Exotel CEO. So that's the subsidiary model. Something like ICICI Securities and ICICI Bank. They are ICICI Securities is like the subsidiary of ICICI Bank, but an independent company. Similar is the case with us. So yeah, that's about it. Some of the learnings I would like to share. One is start early because the risk appetite is higher, right? In college, nobody expects you to earn money. So even if you fail, even if you don't make money in fourth year of college, it is fine. Nobody expects you to make money at that time. You don't have kids, you don't have housing loan, you don't have parents who are elderly and sick. So you don't have liabilities on you, right? Once you enter 30s, right? Especially mid 30s, your parents will grow older and you will have to take care of them. Some people may have purchased a house, so there will be a home loan. You will have a wife, you will have kids, so you'll have to take care of them. So the number of dependencies increase. In early age, you are a free bird. Your parents are young, relatively young. They may be in late 40s or early 50s maximum. And so most parents are on their own. They are not dependent on you, right? You don't have kids, you don't have wife, you don't have headache of a home loan or a car loan or anything like that. So you can experiment with yourself. You can fail in life and still not impact others around you. Secondly, don't give up, right? When my co-founder left, I could have shut down my shop and I could have said, fine, let me go back to Rubrik or go back and apply at Google and get a job. But then there would have been no story, and we will not be having this conversation. Today, I'm talking to you because there is a story which I have, which I can share, and that story came because I did not quit. I did not give up at the most difficult time. When my co-founder left, everybody was questioning me. My parents were asking me, "What are you doing? Where is Soham? What is your future?" My employees were asking me the same question. What are you doing? What is your future? Where is Soham? My customers were asking me the same question, right? At that time, it was one of the lowest points in my life. I had the biggest mental pressure of my life, but I did not give up at that time. And that's why today we are having this conversation. Third is focus. So as you saw, we started with a voice-based solution for Swiggy and Uber and blah blah blah, right? But we once we got a bank, State Bank of India, we said let's nail down financial services because banks are big entities and it's a large market itself. So before diversifying to other industries, let's nail down banking so well that we should be considered as a leader in the space. So today we have 100 plus large financial institutions of India as our customers. So one of our competitors was pitching to one of the mutual fund companies, and my pitch to them was very simple that look, boss, 7 out of top 10 mutual fund companies in India are my customers. Ask the competitor how many mutual fund companies they work with. So we have nailed down the space so well that we have become a super specialist in the space. Fourthly, leverage your network. So for me, it was very important, right? The CIO of AU Bank is an IIT Bombay alumni. The Chief Digital Officer of Axis Bank, IIT Bombay alumni. The Executive Director of ICICI Bank, IIT Kanpur alumni. The CEO of Max Life Insurance, IIT Kharagpur alumni. So I leveraged my network very, very well. Because see, at the end of the day, banks do not understand technology and product very well. But they know banking very well, much better than anyone else. So so just I'll give you an example. Let's say I give you 5 lawyers and say you choose one of these lawyers for your personal work. Which lawyer will you choose? Right? It's very difficult for you to decide which is the best lawyer because we are not competent to choose lawyers. But if let's say some trustworthy person, your father tells you that this lawyer is better than others, you will go for it because someone trustworthy is referring you. Same happened with us in the banks. Banks were not very competent to evaluate a technology, but when they got a reference from one of our advisors that why don't you try Cogno product? They are our kids, we are mentoring them. So they started working with us, and so that way network helped us really well. Fifth, execution is the key. It's very important because many people chase ideas and AI and blockchain and AR, VR, blah, blah, blah. I think what matters is what does the customer want and how do I deliver it? That's it. It could be using AI, it could be using blockchain, it could be using any technology. Just focus on executing on the customer problem. Don't don't like chase every shiny object. चैट जीपीटी आया है तो चलो चैट जीपीटी का स्टार्टअप बनाते हैं. कल वेब 3 चल रहा था तो वेब 3 का स्टार्टअप बना रहे हैं. ऐसे नहीं होता है. You have to fixate and you have to decide that, okay, this is my customer segment, this is the problem I'm going to solve for next 5 or 10 years. Lastly, don't chase investors, chase customers. As you saw, we didn't raise any funding in this entire process, from bootstrapping to straightaway acquisition. When the acquisition happened, me and my co-founder held 97% of the company. The 2-3% was just given to some advisors and mentors from IIT Bombay network and so on and so forth. But other than that, we owned the full company, and so we got the maximum upside when acquisition happened. So we always were a believer that let the customers pay for your business rather than investors. So we are a customer funded business in that way. So yeah, that's about it. I run a channel on YouTube, which you guys may want to subscribe. I share a lot of my ideas. I share a lot of my learnings and experiences on the YouTube channel. And then I have a blog. I mean, Instagram is for sharing personal photos and stuff, but definitely not an entrepreneurship page. It's like me sharing my life in general, and LinkedIn, where again I share a lot of content on entrepreneurship. So that's about it. Happy to take any questions.
Sir, they are putting the questions in the chat box.
There are too many questions, I think. So किसी ने hello sir बोला है, तो hi Vivanshu. How to get such a good internship? Yeah, I don't think this is the right forum to discuss internship. There are some videos on YouTube, you can check it out. I'm happy to take any entrepreneurship related question. Even after getting your degree from IIT BCSE, why did you go for startups? I think I explained, right? I did not feel the impact when I was uh, in a job or in an internship. I did not feel the impact that I was creating. By creating a startup, I feel that I have created far bigger impact than what I could have done in any kind of job. How was your experience building a startup? I think the whole talk was about it. Somebody asked this question at 8 a.m. I hope you got your answer by sharing my journey. What are the key features and benefits of Cogno AI that sets it apart from other AI companies in the market? Now, that's a great question, because see, we don't differentiate in terms of better NLP, better AI. That's not our differentiation. Our differentiation is the specialization in financial services space. For example, we are PCI DSS compliant, we are ISO compliant, we are RBI SAR audit compliant, right? We are compliant with a lot of data security and privacy norms. So that is a differentiation. You don't necessarily have to have differentiation. So I'll give you an example. ICICI Bank is a huge company, right? I'm sure all of you agree. HDFC Bank is a big company. Now tell me, what is the difference between the two? Why are two big companies existing in the same market? Kotak Bank is another one. Axis Bank is another one. So there can be multiple players in the market. ICICI Bank specializes in corporate banking. HDFC Bank specializes in retail banking, right? So that kind of differentiation you can create. It does not have to be necessarily a product or a technology differentiation. It could be a difference in targeting the customer segment. It could be a difference in the persona of the customer, or the way you are reaching out to customers. So our main features are around readiness for financial services space, where these large companies, the biggest problem they have is if they work with a startup and tomorrow the startup blows away some data or some server goes down, they will be highly impacted. Their business will go down and will get severely impacted. We offer a promise that we will take care of all of these things. How do you stay AI evolving in the next 5 to 10 years, and how does Cogno AI plan to stay ahead of the curve? So I think AI space, obviously, all of us are hearing the news of Chat GPT, GPT-4, Auto GPT. So I think AI space, it's the best time to be in the AI space. And by how do we plan to stay ahead of the curve? By embracing these new technologies. For example, in our chat product, we have already started incorporating Chat GPT. So like, I mean, it's tough for me to explain because it becomes very domain specific area, but Chat GPT, LLMs, we have started incorporating into our product. So we are embracing these new technologies, and we are saying that we will add these to our offering for our customers. What are some of the biggest challenges you have faced in building and scaling Cogno, and how have you overcome them? So look, a few challenges. Of course, you saw my co-founder exit happened, right? That's the biggest challenge. Building a great founding team is one of the biggest challenge every entrepreneur faces, right? How do you build a great founding team? How do you find for people who are hungry, who are complementary skills, who carry complementary skills, right? Who are interested in entrepreneurship? Because for me, the biggest problem was that all my friends had great packages, 25 lakhs, 30 lakh, 40 lakh, 50 lakh, $100,000. So nobody wanted to do entrepreneurship. So getting that founding team is one of the biggest challenge. Second challenge I faced as a young entrepreneur is uh, so many things I did not know for myself: how to sell, how to acquire customers, how to create an invoice, right? The compliance, TDS, PF, ESIC, GST, income tax, all of that part, HRA, TA, DA. So there were so many new things which I did not know, and I made a mistakes on some of these things. So that was a huge challenge. Like I mean, a simple example is that when I am young, how do I work with someone who's 10 years older than me? How do I hire them in my company? So all these challenges I faced. But yes, I mean, every entrepreneur faces some or the other challenge. You have to go through them. You have to grind through that journey, and that's the differentiation between a successful entrepreneur and a failed entrepreneur. So I think there is no shortcut over here. So all you need to do is sit down, figure out, think, what do I do, and what is the trade-off? What is the best I can do here? Settle with something and move on. How to crack JEE Advanced after joining college? Sorry, I don't have any idea on that, and this is not a JEE Advanced session, so I'll skip this. Uh, can you share any success stories or case studies of how Cogno has helped business achieve their goal? You can check our company YouTube channel, Cogno AI, on YouTube, or you can check our website. There are some blogs and case studies available. How do you prioritize and manage your time as an entrepreneur given the demands of running a business? So look, there are enough frameworks for prioritizing. The simple thing is that if there is something, so there is a, I'll tell you a simple framework. Uh, there is a graph called urgent and important graph, right? Urgency you plot on the y-axis, importance you plot on the x-axis. So important means something which is important for the business in the long run. Urgent means it is something you have to do right away. There is a fire burning out and you have to like get it off. So for example, if a customer is escalating something, their system has gone down and they are calling at 2 o'clock in the night and they're like, boss, your software has gone down. Now that is not important for me as a long-term for company. For me as a company, one one customer does not really matter at that. I mean, obviously every customer matters, but if one customer has some issue and God forbid if they decide to stop working with us, business will not go down. So it's urgent for me to resolve their issue, but it's not important in the long run. So such things I delegate, which means I'll find someone and say, why don't you help me solve this problem? So much of the time of an entrepreneur is freed up by assigning work to their team members. So today, for instance, the biggest task I have is to make sure I don't have any work. I mean, otherwise, just imagine if I am doing everything. There are 200 customers we have. If I'm spending 15 minutes per customer per day into 200 customers, I will lose my sleep, right? My whole day will be gone in that. So I have to make sure that I don't have to do that. For that, I have built a team of 150 plus people, right? I have more than 150 team members, about 100 people working on the customer side, about 40 people working on product engineering, and about 10 people working on admin, HR, and other stuff. So it's, I mean, the whole way to improve your productivity is to hire someone and let them do it. Today I have 10 hours a day, right? If I work too much, maybe 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, not more than that. But with 150 people in my team, I have 1500 hours a day. So that's how you scale your bandwidth. That's how you maintain productivity. स्टार्टअप करने के लिए एमबीए करना जरूरी है? भाई मैंने नहीं किया है। मतलब कुछ भी कुछ भी जरूरी ना जरूरी आप पे डिपेंड करता है। आपको लगता है कि यार आप ऐसे सेल नहीं कर पाओगे कस्टमर से बात करके, तो आप शायद एमबीए एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हो। मैंने खुद से किया है, सो मैंने बिना एमबीए के किया है। सो कुछ भी जरूरी नहीं है, मतलब बीटेक भी जरूरी नहीं है फ्रैंकली बिजनेस करने के लिए। मेरे डैड ने छोटा ही बिजनेस किया है, बट ही इज नॉट इवन अ ग्रेजुएट। सो स्टार्टअप करने के लिए कोई प्री रिक्विजिट नहीं है, हंगर चाहिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंटली। If it was not in the banking sector, which sector you feel Cogno AI would have succeeded? A good question. So I think if I look at today, apart from banking, we are doing well in some of the other sectors. Education is one sector where we are doing well. Some of the startups who are using us, our product is Byju's is using our product. Great Learning is using our product. I think an academy with Antu we are talking. So education एक sector है. D2C, right? We have a lot of D2C brands as our customers. Apart from that, कुछ और सेगमेंट्स भी हमारे साथ अच्छा कर रहे हैं। क्रेड इज आवर कस्टमर। सो नॉन फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज स्पेस में भी हमारे काफी सारे अभी कस्टमर्स हैं which we have acquired via Exotel. Can you talk about any new developments or upcoming features for Cogno that you're excited about? Yeah, I'm very excited about some chat GPT related features that we are launching very soon, right? So let's say today we have to build a chatbot from a customer website. कस्टमर की वेबसाइट दी है, पूरी वेबसाइट स्क्रैप ऑफ करके क्रॉल करके एक चैटबॉट बना के देना है। सो दैट काइंड ऑफ फीचर। चैट जीपीटी से हम लोग बहुत सारे इंटरनल प्रोसेस ऑप्टिमाइजेशंस भी कर रहे हैं, राइट? जैसे कि आई गिव यू सम एग्जांपल कि यार हमारे कस्टमर्स कुछ फीडबैक देते हैं कि यार ऐसा फीचर बना के लाओ, तो वो फीचर्स इंस्टेड ऑफ आवर डेवलपर्स राइटिंग इट, चैट जीपीटी कोड करके दे सकता है क्या? सो सम ऑफ दोज एरियाज वी आर एक्सप्लोरिंग। अभी क्या होता है, चैट जीपीटी जो है, इफ यू आस्क इट टू राइट कोड, it will give you an independent code and then you have to merge it in your main code base by yourself manually. we are thinking the opposite. Can you give our code base to ChatGPT and say, can you build this for me into this code base? So those kind of things we are sort of experimenting and exploring in our company, which I'm very excited about. Mainly it's around generative AI at the moment. That's the theme. So yeah, any further questions? Anyone?
If any of the participants have any more questions, please put it quickly. Seeing none, I guess, thank you, sir, for your session. It was very informative one. And of course, you cleared a lot of doubts in the chat box, as we can see. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. I'll share the recorded video with you.
Sure, sure. Thank you, everyone. Nice connecting.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
sir. Bye, sir.